Hey guys, welcome to Running with Curls. So today we are going to look at one of my post-run refreshes, and this is a damp refresh. So not a full wet refresh, which means that when I was in the shower, I wore my shower cap because I want to be able to control the amount of moisture that I'm putting back on my curls. So today's run, I did 3 miles and it was pretty humid. It was like 60-something% humidity. But my curls, as you can see, stayed pretty well intact. So I don't need to really refresh everything. So what I'm going to do, I have my continual spray water bottle, which is one of my favorites. And I'm literally just going to dampen my curls. And I'm not getting them super wet. I'm just getting them damp enough to reactivate the products that are in them. So I have some water-soluble products I'm using for my wash day. I used the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line, and I'm gonna refresh with that same line. So the only things I'm gonna use for my damp refresh is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk leave-in conditioner and their curl foam, their refreshing foam. Yesterday, when I did my wash day, I used their leave-in conditioner, their Curl Talk gel, and their mousse. So my hair already has the mousse up at the roots and it has the gel throughout. So when I refresh using water, it reactivates those products because they are water soluble. So I've kind of sprayed down all my curls. They're damp to the touch. I like doing wet refreshes or damp refreshes after a run because my hair's already wet from sweat and from humidity. So this just kind of helps all the curls get back how they're supposed to be. So now that I've dampened my hair, I'm gonna spray in just a little bit of leave-in conditioner. So I don't wanna use a ton because I did use this yesterday on my wash day. But during the summer, my hair sometimes needs a little bit more moisture. I know there's a lot of humidity, so there's a lot of moisture in the air, but with my curls, they prefer a leave-in as opposed to just the moisture in the air. Another great thing about the Curl Talk leave-in conditioner is that it has rice protein in it. So if you are someone whose hair craves protein, which is what mine does, you want a leave-in that can help kind of balance out that moisture with a little bit of protein. So that's one of the reasons I really like this line. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use just a couple squirts of the Curl Refresh foam. You don't want to use a ton of products on your refresh day. So literally just 2 pumps in between my hands. And then I'm just gonna scrunch it into the top because I do want some more volume. The reason you don't want to use a ton of products on your refresh day is because it can really weigh down your curls, especially if you used heavier products on your wash day. So that's why I like using a foam or a mousse, or sometimes I won't use anything and I'll literally just use water. So you want to choose kind of some lighter products. You don't want to weigh your curls down, which is kind of a mistake that I feel like I made a lot at the beginning of my curly girl journey. So just a tip, you don't want to use a ton of products, and when you do, you want to stick with the same line or the same products that you used on your wash day. Because when you start introducing a lot of new products, sometimes they don't react well, and your curls already know what's going on. So when you refresh, you just want to use a little bit more of that. So this is a microfiber. This is actually one of the hair towels, like the turbans. I use it to scrunch out the crunch. I also use it to kind of dry my hair before I defuse. So what I'm going to do, I don't need to re-curl train any of these because the actual definition of the curls is still there. I just want to bring them back to life. So I'm just going to scrunch a little bit, take a little bit of that moisture out of my curls. Because one, this is going to help them dry faster. And then with my hair, it responds really well to scrunching because it just reactivates that curl pattern. I know a lot of days, and you'll see in some of my other refreshes, I use praying hands to refresh, and that is so it doesn't mess up my curl. It just kind of elongates and it'll help coat the curls. So you'll see that in my full wet refresh is I use the praying hands as opposed to the scrunching. So last step in damp refresh is I'm going to diffuse. You could absolutely let this air dry and you would be good to go. I cannot stand having wet hair. So I diffuse. It also gives me a lot more volume, and I am always a fan of volume. So anytime that I can do something to help add volume, especially to the crown, I'm going to do that. So I diffuse. This is my bedhead diffuser. It's specifically for curly hair. The diffuser detaches, but I've had this for 2 years. This is my go-to, absolute favorite. When I diffuse, I flip and I diffuse flipped over because that again is going to give me more volume. So we're going to diffuse this and show you what it looks like when it's totally dry. Okay, so I've completely dried my curls. It took about 10 minutes. My hair dries pretty quickly when I do a damp refresh just because there's not that much moisture that has to be removed. Now on a full wash day, anywhere like 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on the type of products I use, the amount of moisture in my hair when I start drying. So definitely a whole lot faster than air drying. And you can see I have a lot more volume up towards the crown, and my curls are still really well defined. I'm super pleased with that. So because the products I used on wash day, the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Gel and the Curl Talk Mousse are water soluble, they get reactivated when they're wet, which means that my hair right now has a little bit of a cast to it. So not a super hard cast like I got yesterday, but I have probably kind of a medium to soft cast on my curls right now. So I'm gonna use my same microfiber towel and I'm going to just flip and I'm going to scrunch out that cast. So just kind of move around, get especially down on my roots because that's what's going to add the volume. And I'm just gonna continue just a couple good scrunches to make sure all of that cast is out, because that's the goal. When I refresh, I want it to be soft and bouncy and not hard and crunchy, as nobody wants crunchy curls. So there we go. You can see it's super curly, super bouncy, lots of volume up at the top, which is my favorite. And I am really pleased with today's post-run damp refresh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of my curl tutorials, refresh, wash days, all of that. I hope you guys have an awesome day and I will see you next time. Bye.